Okay, this is Chantal speaking, and here's my time map narrative, and we are the 21st of October 2022. So the first thing that came to my mind when drawing my time map were circles to symbolize the many aspects and events in my life which have contributed to the making of my sense of self as a person, which includes being a researcher, an academic, and also an HDR supervisor. My personal and professional lives tend to blend in, and I like it that way. I put dots on the circumferences, as you can see, to signify that there is an ever-flowing and in-the-making narrative between all that has shaped me. You can see too that in the middle of the big circle, which underpins the 4 other smaller circles, I named the 3 cultures which have and are still influencing me the most. So I associate some dominant qualities to these 3 cultures. You can see that I associate my original French culture to the nurturing of my mind and intellect, whereas Indian culture I associated to the nurturing of my soul and spirit, and Australian culture to the body, physicality and nature. Although in more recent years, as I have been learning more and more about Indigenous Australian cultures, I feel my soul and spirit also being increasingly nurtured by them. It actually makes me feel more present, more belonging here to Australia, something which puzzles me greatly. So I was born in France, in Lyon, and I grew up in the 60s and 70s during a time of great social, cultural and political upheaval. I witnessed firsthand and participated in the many disruptions which happen on a personal and collective level when the dominant culture of a country is being questioned and challenged. In my teens, I became acutely aware of the power of linguistic and cultural capital, how it could be used to perpetuate inequalities and injustice, or to challenge both. It fueled my desire to acquire knowledge in order to shape and nurture the relationship to my sense of self, to others, and to the world. So after completing my French baccalaureate, I traveled extensively across all continents except Africa. I learned English and Spanish on the go before I perfected my knowledge of these 2 languages later on through my academic studies. All up, I spent 11 years studying full-time at university, but mostly in Australia, where I migrated at the age of 25. Extensive traveling and reading, learning languages, English and Spanish, and academic studies, literature and linguistics, all contributed to shaping the kind of academic I eventually became. Sanskrit came later. Indian spiritual and philosophical culture have been with me and my key source of inspiration for several decades. So as a lecturer in French studies and supervisor to international students, mainly in applied linguistics, and broadly speaking, as a researcher in intercultural language education, I see my main contribution as helping to expand minds and hearts. That includes mine, through the exploration of languages, cultures, and thought systems, how they all intertwine and manifest within complex individual and collective histories and power dynamics. Easier said than done, but a fascinating, endless journey. Finally, I chose Om as a symbol of my life orientation, a reminder that the ultimate truth is that all is one. To me, it is also a reminder of the importance of nurturing our common humanity behind and despite differences.